Yo, what is good, YouTube? And we are back with part 3 of the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you, chat. Me personally, this is the most boring interactive movie game I've played yet. It's because, like, I'm getting no information really about the murder. Like, so yeah, sorry, chat. It's kind of storming where I'm at, so I was just making sure everything's good. So yeah, we're gonna hop back into it.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just,
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
on
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't
He
I?
was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set
Alright,
fire.
chat.
beautiful.
I'm gonna reiterate what I
Insane.
said.
Hannah's
This is
clothes
the
in the
most
garden.
boring
I dug
interactive
the
story game
grave.
I've
I wish
played.
I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker
we're gonna
cursed
finish
me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Someone else in my hour.
I brought David back to life.
I removed the chains.
Okay, I don't need to go through an entire recap. I mean, it would have been good for y'all, but so we got two new people, chat. We got Scarlett and Glenn. So, but we're gonna start out with Nathan. We had a toxology report. Dr. Ethanol. Okay, so he was tested positive for ethanol, which is alcohol. Okay. And benzodiazepines. Excuse me, chat. So he tested positive for alcohol and drugs. So alcohol and drugs was in his system. Loan agreement, term 36 months. By signing this agreement, the borrower agrees to accept the sum of the loan amount and to repay the loan amount in full. Within the term stated, the sum of the loan will be transferred by the lender into an account designated by the borrower within 14 days of signing the agreement. It is agreed that the loan shall attract no interest, and in lieu of accruing interest, the lender has agreed to the payment of the arrangement fee, which is due before transfer of the loan amount. The lender also agrees to consider the loan repaid in full should they die or become subject to any power of attorney agreement as long as this event occurs within the term of the agreement. £15,000. I gotta look that up because I don't know how much that is in a US dollar. It is $18,663.98 in US dollar. So he loaned her $18,000. Wow. So it says the lender also agrees to consider the loan repaid in full should they die. Okay. So I want to question Mariana first.
I feel thirsty, Doctor. And hot. Do you have any water?
Damn, that's a sizable loan. Yes, that's a lot of money to be lending your patients.
I've been drinking a lot of water recently.
Let's go, Yanishing.
I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go to the sea. I said I would, but I didn't. I've been feeling this way for a while. It's like it's getting worse because I didn't go to the sea. It's like I'm having... I don't feel well. I feel sick most of the time, dizzy, thirsty. I got a head fog like you wouldn't believe.
Cool in for right now. How about
My
you?
doctor, Dr. Rose, sent me for
Playing
blood
this game.
tests. Dr. Rose thinks maybe I have a vitamin deficiency. I can tell she has no idea. She smiles, but she hasn't got any answers. I think I probably need to go back to the beach. The sea, Doctor.
How was your day? It was
It's
alright.
calling me. This sounds crazy, but I can hear the sea. It's like an alarm going off in my head. Do you know where the sea is? From here? It's over there. Wherever I am, I know exactly where the sea is. It's like a compass. I have this recurring dream.
She told us. Good.
I'm at the beach. I strip and walk into the sea. The sea feels warm and comforting. Not cold and harsh like you'd think. I swim down to the bottom of the ocean. I can breathe freely. I can breathe water. On the ocean floor ahead of me, there's a beautiful creature. A glowing being with wispy limbs. It's so warm. I'm transfixed. But my feet shift. I'm unsteady. Below me, the floor is woven in human flesh.
What?
Dead bodies, but some of them still struggling for life.
Maybe.
These are the ones touching me.
Oh.
Gripping my feet. I scream. That's when I wake up.
And you're naked.
Do you have that dream, Doctor?
No, bruh.
It's horrific and beautiful at the same time. It's a dream, Doctor. Stranger things happen in dreams.
That is true.
What's temazepam? Why are you asking? take sleeping pills. Never have done.
Okay,
When
so
you suffer blackouts already, you don't really get offered anything like that.
so there were sleeping pills. I didn't know I didn't know the drug that was uh I didn't know that was sleeping pills that he tested positive for. I don't really know because I feel like the game should automatically just tell you because not everybody is going to know what barbiturates is. Like, what is that? Cannab cannabinoids. Like, nobody knows what that is. I assume that that's marijuana. It sounds another thing for cannabis, but it's like I never heard of that word. Benzo diazepams. I never heard of that. So, but apparently those are sleeping pills. Okay.
Do you forget anything from our sessions, Doctor? People follow me to the beach. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what happens to them. I don't always get followed, though, so it doesn't explain my blackouts. I said I don't know what happens to them.
See, they be making me ask
It's
dumb
not
questions.
always to the beach. Sometimes they follow me home.
Benzos is a popular drug in Hollywood for actors to help them calm down. Okay. But it is a sleeping pill.
My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
What? I didn't ring your doorbell.
I don't know. I didn't kiss you, but you just followed me, like the others. I don't feel comfortable here, Doctor. I'd like to leave. He lent me some money to start my business. It was a proper agreement. I remember signing things. He thought that a distraction would do me good. I don't think he expected me to trawl the beach for treasure and sell it online. I've seen Dr. Dekker drink, but not that much. Certainly not during our sessions. He had other things on his mind, I'm sure. Dr. Dekker thought I had too much time on my hands, so a distraction would do me good. He lent me $15,000, all in all.
That's a lot.
I hear a sound like singing, calling me.
Sounds like a skinwalker.
It gets
of the
stronger
waters.
when I face it, when I move towards it. That's how I know where the sea is. But when I don't go to the sea, I feel like the sound gets louder all the time. I'm having trouble sleeping. Perhaps I need sleeping tablets after all. If you say so, it must have been your twin then. I don't know if I have a twin. Do you have a twin, Doctor? I know you don't. It was definitely you, wearing what you're wearing now. No, there's been no dancing. I haven't been feeling that well, Doctor. He's the cute, sad-looking one, isn't he? He asked me out, and I said I'd let him know. Do you think I should go out with him?
I don't know.
Okay, but if he goes missing, don't go looking at me.
I should have said no.
You said it with such a serious look on your face, I almost believed you. It would be good if you had some kind of superpower that helped me, but I don't think so. It's a referral letter, Doctor. Don't overthink it. A girl can't be too careful with everything that's been going on.
What's been going on? Okay. So, I'm going to speak to our new people, Scarlett and Glenn. I'm going to talk to Glenn first.
Sorry, I'm Glenn. I didn't expect to be here. I was looking for the men's room. Like I said, I was in the green room. You know, that new restaurant in town. I actually need to do something. Done. Sorry. I was in the middle of the day and needed the restroom, and here I am.
So you went downtown?
Sorry, you're not familiar with my case.
Obviously.
I stepped through the restroom door into your office. Sometimes when I go through a door, it opens to another place.
Alright. So you teleport.
No, I shouldn't imagine she did that. I didn't even pass through the waiting room. Besides, it's lunchtime, she won't be there. No, not really. But it's lunchtime, and you don't normally see patients now. Well, Dr. Dekker didn't normally see patients now. Dr. Dekker was crazy. I arrived late to the party. Apparently, he was a fine, upstanding citizen before. I don't know what changed him. Of the few sessions I had with him, he'd observed me walking through doors. But I'd walk through a door and I'd disappear. Then I couldn't get back. The session was £150 either way, so I paid that for a couple of times and then decided it was a bad idea.
Yeah, you wasting
As
your
you can
session.
see, it's still happening.
Yeah, you wasting your session. Yeah, get up and walk out the door, and then you just teleport to somewhere else. Yeah, you just wasting your money, bro. Yeah, I would cancel too.
The doors.
Unless he's doing it at the end of
Still
my
vanishing
session.
from one place to another.
Like if he did it at the end of our session, like let's say like if the session is an hour and we're already 50 minutes in, I'll be like, all right, walk through the door. Like not 10 minutes in, you get up, walk through the door, and you have to pay for that whole hour. That's
My dad died. He was on his deathbed and I was complaining about work, women or whatever. It was an idiom. He said, when one door closes, another opens. Then he died. I needed those words to be important. So here I am. He was stoic. He had tuberculosis in his lungs. That's what
in
killed
his
him.
lungs. God damn.
Nobody knew until the end. I never got to say I loved him. Yeah, maybe. He'd split with my mum 3 years earlier. It was messy. It was bad. I didn't talk to him really at all. They called me as next of kin, said I should come in if I wanted to say goodbye. I did love him. He just broke everything.
What you mean? Wow.
No.
Mm.
I hadn't seen him for so long. I just let it all out. I screamed, I shouted, I punched the walls. Do you know what he said? Sorry. Over and over again. Like he really meant it. He did. He really meant it. And when I stopped, when I was exhausted, he smiled at me. Like he cherished me. Like he'd been waiting to say sorry. Waiting for forgiveness. I didn't get to. I didn't get to say I loved him. I didn't get to forgive him. He just said when one door closes, another opens. And he died. What does he think of me? All those years, thinking I was the bigger man. It turns out he was. There's no going back, is there, Doctor? When one door closes, it's shut forever. How? How do I go back? I think you're probably right. I've been trying to address the symptoms and not the root of the problem. You might be the best replacement doctor this place has seen. I'll book a real appointment next time, and you can help me with this. Thanks, Doctor. Is this some kind of joke? Just because you don't believe what I'm saying doesn't mean you have to make up your own stuff. Guess I'm getting what I paid for with your advice. I hadn't thought of that. I've just been thinking when I open a door, it goes somewhere else in the present, not in the past. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. I'll try that. Now. I'll try that now.
Scarlett, I haven't been in since he died. Since Dr. Dekker died. He was a complicated man, as I suppose most people are. His external persona didn't match what he dreamed about. His dreams were amazing, filled with a spectrum of colours and creatures. It was like Narnia for grown-ups. That was in the beginning. Chaotic, dark. Like an earthquake, everything you stood on shifted into something else. I think he was fighting with something internally, and it was winning. I don't know. It's a turn of phrase. Inner demons? Insanity? I don't know. I can visit dreams, but I can't force the dreamer to interact with me. I'm a dream walker. I can visit people and help them in their dreams. You've not caught up on all his old patients yet, then? It's something I've been able to do since I was little. I was born an identical twin, and my sister and I shared dreams. We just thought it was normal. When our younger brother started having night terrors, we helped him. I just need to know the person, a little, and know they're dreaming. Then I can sort of jump into them. It's something, I think, in my mind. Firstly, I need to sleep myself. I'm constantly tired, so I can pretty much sleep on demand. Before I go, I think of jumping. I don't know. Lots of people. Whenever I get close enough to tell somebody about it, the first thing they want to do is try it out or have me visit their dreams. That's kind of why I'm here. relationships. Fluid, soft, intricate things. I couldn't draw a picture if you asked, but they drew you to them. They looked a little strange, but you felt compelled to watch them. It's difficult to sustain them. I'm not just talking about romantic entanglements. It's hard keeping friends, too. Like I said before, I tell them about my ability and they immediately want to try it out. The problem is, I don't normally like what I see. I think people try to show off. Firstly, they're a bit shocked if I turn up in their dream. But when they're comfortable with that, they start to put on a show. But most people can't control their dreams, so they tend to turn into nightmares pretty quickly. Oh look, I'm dreaming of a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh, why is it destroying New York? When you've experienced someone's dream, if they've been a bit creepy in it or terrified me, it's hard to look someone in the eyes after that. It's embarrassing. What should I do, Doctor? Should I not tell people about my ability?
Yeah, keep your
it a
mouth
secret,
shut.
bottle it up.
Don't tell nobody about your secret.
I'm not sure that's healthy.
It is healthy.
I guess I could give it a try. What if it accidentally comes out? Is there anything else I can do to stop pushing people away? So, if I could breathe through my ears, you wouldn't want to see it. I do say no. A lot. But I usually cave eventually.
So just stick with what you fucking said.
Double honest. Interesting. I suppose I haven't really tried that. I might just give that a go.
Yeah, keep that mouth shut.
He's dead now, so I suppose it won't affect him if I admit that. So yes, I was. Not near the end, though. Not when his dreams started changing. Like I said, my ability ruins relationships. Who told you? Jaya?
Don't worry about it.
Just thought she'd know. Thought she'd know everything about her precious Dr. Dekker. Sorry, we didn't speak that much. But she was a lot like the other woman. So much control over someone who was supposed to be her superior.
Okay. Interesting.
Valentine's Day was awful. I had a bit of an accident with a creme brulee torch and had to spend the night waiting in A&E. I melted a nail to my finger.
How?
It hurt a lot and needed stitches. It's all fine now, though. It's difficult to do when you experience them like I do. But I know what you're saying is right. A lot of the time I assume people are controlling their dreams like I can. But they're probably directed by their subconscious, and who controls that?
I don't want to talk about grief today. I'm getting enough grief from work.
I don't know if you know, but Professor Alderby used to be my professor. He teaches history and psychology, amongst other things. I know it's not technically work, but he asked if I would allow him to have the video footage of his sessions with Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker wanted to be removed from all of the videos, so it's jump cut after jump cut, but I'm sure you've already noticed that. I didn't think you'd mind, since it wasn't your case anyway. Mostly it's the professor talking about how he viewed reality back then, in so much as he thought it was changeable. There's nothing else to do but watch while things are encoding. Psychokinetics, remember? Cult of the Kinetic Mind? Professor Alderby said it was recommended reading to help psychiatrists in their frontline battle with insanity, he likes to call it. Professor Alderby saw the relationship between psychiatrist and patient as a winnable battle. The patient must be cured by removing their psychokinetic ability, if present, either by telling them it doesn't exist or by using another psychokinetic ability to negate it. It's a long time ago, I can't remember all of it. There was a specific example. If someone tells you they can fly, you tell them you control air currents and that from now on they won't be allowed to use them. This would normally stimulate the brain in such a way that the patient stopped thinking they could fly. The main danger as the therapist is believing that you can control air currents. The danger of pretending you have psychokinetic abilities is that you may start believing you have them and then have them. It's the paradox of the cure. Dr. Dekker loved paradoxes. His favourite was the grandfather paradox. If you can travel back in time and kill your grandfather, then you cannot be born. But if you cannot be born, then you cannot kill your grandfather. It's a time traveler's chicken and egg, if you will. I don't take sleeping tablets, never have. I'm not allowed to prescribe either. Dr. Dekker had me try to forge his signature once, but I was woeful. Some people would say Dr. Dekker had a bit of a drinking problem. It got worse and then it got better when his confidence turned up. I think it was the stress of dealing with the new patients. I like the odd tipple. I've been known to drink, not as much at the moment, not as much as Dr. Dekker did. He kept at least one bottle in his desk drawer at all times. You can't imagine the amount of times I wanted to sneak in and have some. I suppose it's possible that somebody spiked his drink. Most people probably knew he had a bottle in his desk. Wouldn't have been that hard to empty out some capsules into it. Maybe the police should get fingerprints? I'll go and suggest it. Make sure nobody touches the bottle in the meantime. I have no idea. Maybe he was an undercover secret agent. Maybe he was getting more annoying as time progressed. You're not, though. You're lovely. Is this a good time to ask for a raise? Wow, I was kidding, but thank you, Doctor. I'll take that as a yes. And don't worry, I'll sort it all out. Dr. Dr. Dekker definitely dabbled in that stuff. I'm not sure to what extent. I like Professor Alderby. He turned me onto that book I've been raving about. Cult of the Kinetic Mind. I should start selling them myself. Dr. Dekker told me he was adopted. His birth mother only turned up 5 years ago because she wanted money for her experimental cancer treatment. I'm not sure how much it cost or even if he had the money, but he didn't do it, and she became one mean mother. There's a lot of stress in here. We're dealing with people's lives. How do you relax, Doctor? I love video games. I just wish they'd make ones with stronger female protagonists. Sorry, I'd settle for any female protagonists. I bet you like dance music. I don't know why. I love food. It will be my downfall. Stress eating is the worst. Mariana thought I played hockey, whatever that's supposed to mean.
I'm feeling good. I ran into one of your other patients, Mariana. She's beautiful. I think we might go on a date. Temazepam is the same sleeping pill Dr. Dekker prescribed me. Why would he mix those with alcohol? People are such idiots. Which reminds me, that truck driver died. The truck driver that ran into Hannah. He was divorced, apparently. He killed himself. He mixed sleeping pills with alcohol too, but he died in his garage. I read it in the paper. He'd been drinking. Then he took the sleeping pills. Then he went into his garage and put the hose pipe through his window. Not until he put his daughter in the seat first. It's one of those newspaper stories you read and you hope it says he leaves behind his wife and 7-year-old daughter. But his daughter was in the car. Do you know, I wrote him a letter. Dr. Dekker told me one of the ways to get through my grief would be to write a letter to the truck driver. I tried to forgive him. I know it was my fault, but the thing that made me feel best was blaming him. I think maybe he killed himself because of me. Do you think I'm to blame, Doctor? I didn't think you'd say that. I think in the court of law, I wouldn't be found guilty. There was a picture of his daughter in the paper. Molly. Ever since I saw a picture in the paper, I've started thinking I could see her. Out of the corner of my eye. Like she's watching me. Crazy, right? Alcohol isn't something I usually notice on people until they're slurring and weaving around. Was Dr. Dekker an alcoholic? Probably. I never saw him drink, though. What are you trying to do most? Cure his patients or find out who killed him? Well, at least you're being honest. Do you know that Dr. Dekker thought one of his patients was trying to kill him? He told me in one of our sessions, which was later rewound, that someone had been leaving him messages on his prescription pad. Not good messages. He didn't tell me anything specifically. Just death threats. It was one of his many rants. I just sat there quietly, hoping he wasn't going to try and hypnotize me again. I asked him if it was a boy or a girl's handwriting. He said he knew who it was, and that they'd be in trouble. I think he was bluffing. I can't really explain it, but she seems like such a friendly person. I think the police are barking up the wrong tree. I think I've probably said too much. It's probably not the same girl anyway. Please do. I wish I could believe you. My solicitors assured me that I wouldn't have to discuss anything about my trial with you, so I'm not going to. Concentrate on my state of mind, and let me worry about other things.
I'm fine. I'm worried. My pursuer in the hour, he's definitely military. I've developed a new skill to deal with him. It's more of an old skill I'm bringing back to life. A while ago, when I was feeling pretty low, I teleported into this office to get some antidepressants. But last night, my pursuer approached me, drawing something from his jacket. I had nowhere to go. I remembered I could teleport, so I did, back home. I don't know anything about sleeping pills. Why would I want any? I want to stay awake for my extra hour, not sleep through it. I saw Jessica across the street this morning. She waved, but I just crumbled. Ever since I took those photos, I haven't been able to face her. Do you think I should tell her about the photos, Doctor? I didn't think I should either. She'd hate me forever. Maybe when she next waves, I'll at least wave back. Work is fine. If anything, I've been falling behind again. I think it's the stress of not being alone in the midnight hour anymore. I stole a painting. There, I've said it. It was from the local gallery, Providence. I really like it, but I can't afford it. So I took it. It's just that one thing, just the painting I've stolen recently. I think my new pursuer is unraveling me. Is it okay to steal things, Doctor, if I really like them? I thought you'd say that. I will do my best to refrain from it, but I can't promise anything. I remember Dr. Dekker would take a sneaky dram from a bottle he keeps in his desk. He probably thought I was too busy rambling to notice. But I'm a very astute rambler.
We know.
Yes, you're right. Sorry, I did come to the office once for an unscheduled visit. I forgot about that. I wrote a prescription out for myself and got it made up. Dr. Dekker didn't have to know. Did I say that? Did I really? Well, I can't really remember saying anything like that. I didn't take the doctor's temazepam. I took the ones that Dr. Dekker prescribed me. My head's in a strange place at the moment. It's difficult to remember everything.
I think we found our culprit who killed him. I don't know. He knew Dr. Dekker was drinking. And, hold on, let me turn this fan down. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but he knew Dr. Dekker was drinking and he was taking sleeping pills. So I don't really know.
I was as surprised as you are. I just imagined I was somewhere else, and there I was. Perhaps Dr. Dekker was right. Think of something, and it becomes real, if you believe in it. But I'll only do it wisely. Imagine the mistakes you might make. don't want to become one with the igneous layer too soon. My pursuer, he's measured in his approach, watching, testing. When he finally came for me, I wasn't ready. I think he underestimated me, though, and that allowed me to escape. He didn't think I'd be able to just leave. Why do you think he's coming after me, Doctor?
I don't know.
I think I might know.
Why?
I think he's death, Doctor.
I
think I saved that old woman from burning to death in bed, and now he's coming after me to even the score. Do you think it could be death? It's just me. I'm going crazy. I'm so strange. Everything about me is strange already, but to have another presence in my hour, it's unhinged me. No, I'm not becoming him. I'm not becoming Dekker. Yes, that's David Castleford. I've no idea when it was taken. Shocking composition. No, Doctor. No, you can't. I've seen what you can do. You can listen and ask, but you don't have any real power. I was one of Dr. Dekker's first patients. I wasn't referred by anyone. My GP recommended I saw someone privately. I think he was just sick of listening to me complain about how little time I had during our 10-minute slot. These sessions cost a lot of money, Doctor. I'm not just going to leave in the middle of one. But I can see you don't believe me. Do you really want me to teleport, Doctor? Blink, and you'll miss it. Told you.
Okay.
There's no lake house today, sorry. David's not doing very well. He's caused a problem with the girl. I need to do something.
Okay. What is it?
The little girl, our neighbor at the lake house, she says David is weird and creepy.
Doctor!
Oh my God,
Sorry,
stop doing that.
But I found some of the referral letters we were talking about. There is a pattern, but it's not the same for everyone. You said to get them to you ASAP, so here you go.
Like, damn. I'm not taking a look at them yet.
David has been hunting and skinning again. But from the look of the torso, he caught a domestic cat. I'm being generous. It was definitely a cat. I spoke to David about it, but I have no idea if he can comprehend me or not. He just grunts at me. He doesn't even smile anymore. Not at all.
Because he don't love you. He was going to leave you and you killed him.
Yes, sorry. I left out an important detail. The girl,
It was a little girl?
Anushka. She was crying because her cat had gone missing.
Oh, it was her
she thinks
cat.
that David killed it.
He did.
Doctor, I'm worried. I'm worried that David's not going to stop at cats. He's killed deer, rabbits, wild birds, and now cats. I'm worried he might add little girls to his list. I can't stop him. I can't stop him. I can't control him in any way at all. Ever since I brought him back from the dead, he has done nothing but ignore me.
Because you killed him.
I'm starting to think that I need to put David out of his misery. That I need to end his suffering.
You already did.
That I need to kill him.
You did already.
Again.
Yeah, please say again, because you
What
killed him
shall I
once.
do, Doctor? Should I kill David? I love him so much. But you're right. It's time. He's becoming a danger to people around him, not just himself.
Yeah, kill him again. Fuck it.
I never talked to Tobias, but I did talk to Iris. I told her who saved her and that it was a patient here. She broke down on the phone. Most unbecoming.
Wait, how does she know about
I
our
wonder what kind
session?
of gift basket he'll get. Oh yes, here. From a few weeks ago. As you can see, Doctor, he looks perfectly normal.
Let me take a look at this. Let me take a gander at this photo. Oh yes, he does look perfectly normal.
I've never used sleeping pills. I'm too afraid of what would happen to me in my sleep. If Dr. Dekker was an alcoholic, he hid it well. I never saw him drink. He certainly never offered me a drink. God knows I could have used one.
Okay, so only two people knows he drinks, which is my assistant and Bryce. Bryce once said that he was taking sleeping pills and then switched it to antidepressants. And Jaya, she certainly knows a lot about Dr. Dekker. Hmm. Right now, Bryce and Jaya are my two main suspects that killed Dr. Dekker. Because they both know that he was drinking and they both know he had pills in his office. Well, I'm pretty sure Jaya is no more than what she's leading on. And Bryce, he just said that he faked prescribed himself sleeping pills. Nathan also said that somebody was threatening him, writing shits on his on his pad. So Bryce admitted to writing stuff on his pad. Nobody else did. So Bryce and Jaya are my two biggest suspects.
Dr. Dekker was very quiet in our sessions after seeing David. After a while, he started talking about David like he was a pet, asking me what I fed him, what he'd do in certain conditions. Dr. Dekker asked me if I'd ever accidentally locked David in, which I hadn't, but curiosity got the better of me, so I locked him in the lake house. He couldn't get out. He didn't have the wherewithal to operate the lock.
Uh,
I think he was fascinated with it all, and David and I had become new test subjects for him. When I said David never listens to me, he urged me to start giving David treats for pleasing me. Not in that way, but showing him how to close a door, for example. If he did it, give him a treat. It did actually work, but I had to stop myself. I felt like I was training a monkey. It just wasn't
I
right.
feel you.
That's an interesting idea, Doctor. It's not really something that needs to be done, though. I have no intention of reanimating anybody anymore. It hasn't gone very well in the past. My solicitors did refer me, but I ended up going privately as it was cheaper. I'm paying them enough already without them getting a percentage of my therapy bill.
Okay, so let's view the referral letters. Dr. Dekker. I refer a client to your clinic for evaluation. Claire Castleford. She's being charged with murder of her husband. We require your diagnosis as to whether she was of sound mind and had the mens rea required for the crime. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Hackett Brown. Solicitors Hackett and Brown. Okay. Okay, dear Dr. Dekker, we believe that our client who only given us her first name, Mariana, is mentally unstable and would like your expert opinion on this matter. We are happy to cover all your costs and look forward to receiving your first report or forthwith. Chart Token and Ball Solicitors LLP. Rawlings House. Okay. For the attention of Dr. Dekker, Cat Rome Beach Solicitors. I'm referring yet another client to you today for further psychiatric evaluation. It is my hope that you concur with my suspicions and are able to find him insane under the guidelines set out within the McNaughton rules. Hmm. So there is a clear pattern here that he's been getting referrals for people with insanity. I haven't found if you guys found any other patterns in these letters, let me know, but I haven't found any.
Hilda died last night. I was there. Well, I was there as her daughter. It was nice. She had a good death. Hilda was Hilda to the end. I was the doting daughter. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. I love you, Mum. Then Hilda, with almost her last breath, looks me straight in the eye and says, "Don't let them take Amelia."
Amelia.
Most people have taken sleeping pills at some time or another, haven't they? It's probably quite easy to get hold of them. Although, I have to get a doctor to sign a prescription if I need any at work. It's probably the same for Jaya. Dr. Dekker drank a bit. I mean, I didn't say anything about it, but, well, it's not very professional, is it? I mean, it's not like he was drunk. It must be very stressful being a therapist. Do you find it stressful, Doctor? I can tell just by looking at you. This job has really taken its toll on you. Jaya seems really nice. I don't know why she'd want to work in a place like this. I just mean, get all these weird people coming here. I mean, I've met some of them out in the waiting room. I know they're just people, but a couple of them have seriously given me the creeps.
Like who?
She's a slightly older one, isn't she? Always well dressed? Yes, her. I'm pretty good at picking up on people's energy, and hers is cold. Actually, I think I sort of know her. Claire Castleford, isn't it? Apparently, she attacked her husband or something.
Okay.
I think of Dr. Dekker every time one of my patients dies. It makes me remember how he didn't care about his mum. He was a good therapist, who was a lousy son. I was angry at Dr. Dekker. Hilda's daughter, she's in Australia, so fair enough, maybe she really couldn't get over to see her. But Dr. Dekker's mum was dying literally on the other side of town, and he just couldn't be bothered. I shifted for her, but in a way I wish I hadn't, because it let Dr. Dekker off the hook, you know? I didn't realise how little he cared until I told him the news.
Oh.
You've never seen me angry, have you, Doctor? Don't say things like that when you don't mean them. It causes upset. Amelia's Hilda's doll. She used to have about 9 or 10 of them, all glassy-eyed and creepy looking, with frilly dresses and curls. All over her room they were. In the end, we had to get rid of them. They weren't very hygienic. But we let her keep one, and that was Amelia. I'm keeping her safe until I can pass her on to Hilda's daughter. Maybe she'll fly over for the funeral. I don't know. Are you okay, Doctor? You look a bit pale. Yes, I told Dr. Dekker. Most other people wouldn't have believed me, but he did. In fact, he cared far more about the shifting than he did about his mum dying.
I think I'm starting to understand this game. It seems like Jaya, the assistant told me in the beginning to not give in into their, crazy shits. And I think that's why I think that's why Dr. Dekker started going mad, because I think I'm going insane, because every time I give in, like when Claire said, should she kill him? And I said, yeah, I had got an achievement that says 200 sanity points. So I think the key is to not. I think the key is to not give in. So I think that's the point of this game.
For a moment, I thought he might cry. Just for a split second. But he didn't. He just carried on with our session. I wish I knew what went on there. Jaya probably knows. She spent quite a long time with Sarah when she visited. Yes, once. I wanted to show him what I could do so he could see for himself. I took his hand, I told him to think of a loved one, and then there was nothing. I mean, literally nothing, just an empty void. The only thing I could feel was his hand holding mine. I'm pretty sure without that I'm not sure I could have made it back. Terry hasn't been into work for a few days. I hope there's nothing wrong with her. Terry and I are never going to be best friends, but I wouldn't wish her ill. I referred myself because of Dr. Dekker's mother. Was I supposed to have a letter?
Yeah, but I think I understand the concept of this game. He went mad because he was believing in all their conspiracy theories, or in their theories. So from now on, I'm not gonna.
You said you'd help me with my problem, but he's still here.
Ooh.
Dr. Dekker. He wants me to kill people.
Ooh.
He wants them to follow me to the sea, to the creature. It eats them. It's getting stronger. Dr. Dekker says when it's strong enough, it's going to walk again. That's why I black out. He doesn't want me to know. He doesn't want me to remember. I'm feeding a beast that wants to eat us all. You've got to tell me, Doctor. You have got to tell me the truth. You're dreaming, but your dreams are the truth. Don't forget me when you wake. I don't know how I'm in your dream, but now we're together. Let's play a game. I say a word, you say a word. Ready?
Bro, what?
Guilty. Murderer. Wrong answer. Now you're stuck with me. 3 little words and I'll let you go. Yes. Yes, you do. You rang my doorbell.
The truck driver
The little girl.
killed himself.
David is weird.
Like she's watching me.
I need to put David
Molly.
out of his misery.
Is it okay to steal things?
Sleeping tablets.
Fingerprints?
Dead bodies.
I saw Jessica.
Should I kill David?
Hilda died last night.
Do you think I should tell her about
Psychokinetics?
the photos?
Dr. Dekker seemed to like a drink.
Bit of a drinking problem.
It's probably the same for Jaya.
One of his patients was trying to kill him,
He lent me some money.
leaving him messages.
Creature, human flesh.
I'd teleported.
Do you have that dream, Doctor?
Oh. Oh, Doctor. You look... Oh. There's something I need to tell you. I can't find Dr. Dekker's prescription pad anywhere. I'm not sure when it went missing, but I don't remember seeing it for a while. Yours is there, but I'm scared one of the patients may have got their hands on it. Let me know if you find it, anyway, and ask me about Mariana later. I've got news.
Okay, so apparently, I think. I'm gonna start out with Nathan.
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're gonna have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though? This might feel like the darkest timeline, but it's not my darkest timeline. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I'd look at one of your other patients, or maybe even your assistant. I've heard you can plant key words in people when they're hypnotized. How would I know if I had any? I think that the hypnotism didn't take, but maybe Dr. Dekker did hypnotize me, and it did work, and he told me to think that it didn't. I think I found one of the key words. I can't say what it is. I don't want to trigger it. I was on the phone to my dad last night, and he said something, and boom, I fell asleep. Normally I wish that kind of thing would happen, but it just happened. I phoned him back. I thought it was seconds, but it was an hour later. I asked him what he'd said. He'd watched some NASA program. He was reading off planets. It was one of them. I don't want it to be triggered. So he did plant me with something. I have absolutely no idea. Did you find out what the key word is? What is it? No. Don't say it. Write it down for me. And thank you. You know, there's something I've not been telling you.
Okay.
It's about time travel. I read a book about time travel. I thought what was happening to me was a type of time travel. I couldn't control it, but at the end of each day, I would travel back in time to the beginning and live it over again. I'm like Doctor Who, but I don't have a TARDIS, and I can't choose what time I go to. Except once. The doctor said she was legally still alive. The only thing they could do was starve her. Hannah didn't die in the accident the first time around. It was worse than death. She wouldn't have wanted that. I was looking at a photo from around the time of the accident. I had a lot of alcohol, which I think was probably necessary. I jumped back to the junction. I started pulling out, but the lorry was already on us. I drove into the lorry to make sure. I didn't wake up in hospital because I woke up the next day, present day. Things had changed. Her obituary changed in the press clippings I kept. It said she was killed instantly. Nothing else changed. Her family seemed to hate me more, which is ironic because the first time around, they pulled her off life support. So I saved them the indignity. Now they just think it was my careless driving that caused her death.
I mean, it did. It was.
Pluto's not a planet, is it? And why are you even trying? His prescription pad's missing. The one with all the death threats on it. Do you think the murderer took it to cover their tracks? I suppose it could be a coincidence, but I'm guessing whoever murdered Dr. Dekker stole his prescription pad. Things have been interesting, thanks to Mariana. We went on a date. Well, sort of. She texted me this bar she was going to, and I just turned up. She can dance. I was transfixed most of the night. Next thing I know, I'm lying in my bed, at home. The room's spinning. The day moved forward. In fact, every night I go and watch Mariana dance, the day moves forward. Do you think Mariana likes me? So what you're trying to say is that Mariana is just using me and has no interest in me romantically whatsoever. Thanks. That helps my self-esteem. I'm at peace with Hannah now. I can save her. And I'll keep trying, but I must move forward. I did kind of ask you not to talk about this anymore, but I suppose you're not taking notes. I haven't been lying. As far as everyone's concerned, she died in that car accident. Instantly. I didn't have time. I jumped back to the split second the accident happened. The truck was already on us. I swerved left the first time, so I tried right. If I could have saved her, I would have done. I didn't want her to die.
I'm fine, Doctor. I went to the beach, swam under the sea, and returned to tell the tale. No blackouts. Nothing. I don't dream, Doctor. I haven't dreamed for years now. Yeah. I did say that was a dream, didn't I? Is it easier to swallow, knowing it's the truth? The truth is, I'm not like you, Doctor, or anyone else. I can swim to the bottom of the ocean for hours, and people follow me, even if it's the last thing they do. Why would someone steal Dr. Dekker's prescription pad? I didn't even know he had one. I prefer actions over words, Doctor. You know that. Wow. That's a low blow, Doctor. And after all our sessions, I'm not a thief. Even the loan, that was just unfortunate. Dr. Dekker asked for his loan back after diagnosing me as sane. In his opinion, my blackouts and everything else were fictional. He had no proof, of course, either way, or I'd be cured, but he asked for his money back, and I didn't have it.
Sounds like a motive.
Why would I do that? Dr. Dekker transferred our loan agreement to Claire at Castleford. She bought him out. I owe her the money now.
Really?
I don't know why she did it, but Dr. Dekker got repaid, and now my agreement is with Claire. You should ask her.
Why did she do that?
People follow me into the sea. I don't force them, they just follow to see the creature. I'm not sure what you'd call it. A wisp? A star? It's so bright and warm and loving. I don't know why it leaves me. It only wants the others. It feeds on them.
It eats them. Okay, we didn't know that.
When I look down, I black out. But if I can just keep looking forward, no blackouts. I can just swim back to the top when it's finished. You really want to know? If I look down, it's writhing, just limbs of people from the clubs and the bars. Not just from this week, but last week, last month, last year. They all look terrified, but somehow still alive. The creature. It's all inside them, poking holes through them that they shouldn't have. It just eats them. Slowly. The missing people. That's where they go. I don't know I'm doing it. I swear I don't, Doctor. The creature. I hear it. It's hungry. Nobody can know. It's our secret. I can't explain what happened with John. He followed me back from the bar that night and swam with me under the ocean. I blacked out. He'd gone. You must have read about John in the news.
See, I wouldn't be swimming
He
with
was a
nobody in the
local
water.
student who went missing. He was a looker. And he had a way with words, but he was also a cheat. The creature liked eating him a lot. But I can't explain what happened next. I left him to be eaten. And the next morning, he turns up in my bed at my house. He's not wet at all. No signs he's been in the sea, but he has holes in him. Lots of holes. His inside is on the outside. Just a ball of tangled worms. And now they're blaming me, but you knew that, Doctor, didn't you?
No, I did not know that.
That's why I'm here. They think I killed John. John and some others. They need to know whether I'm insane or not. No,
The creature
the
killed
creature
John.
killed John. My lawyer, he says I'm insane, but that he needs you to rubber stamp it. Do you think I'm insane, Doctor?
To be honest, I don't think she's insane.
It's our secret. What will you tell people, that I'm feeding people to a creature at the bottom of the ocean? What proof do you have? You can't tell on me. You know what you do to me. When you visit.
What?
I let you do it because sometimes I'm ashamed
Wait, what?
of what I've done. You make me feel like I deserve it. You get inside me, Doctor, and it hurts. And you don't care. I told you how grateful I'd be. But you need to fix my problem first. If they try me as sane, I'll be in prison for a long time. And then, how would you get your reward, Doctor? You're a naughty one, Doctor. You know you visited my home. Why do you keep denying it? Don't you remember? That's a shame. You had fun. If you can't remember, I'm certainly not going to enlighten you. She's the woman that took over the loan I had with Dr. Dekker.
I've been reviewing your files. I know, I'm sorry, a bit naughty, but have you considered that Mariana may have murdered Dr. Dekker because of the money she owed him?
I
She
did
had most
consider
of the
that.
gain. She got all the money if he died, and it makes most sense, doesn't it? I'm worried about you, Doctor. You seem quiet and, well, it's just your fingerprints on the bottle. Maybe you touched it by accident? You didn't know him, did you? Then Why are your fingerprints on his vodka bottle? No, don't answer that. Oh, the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, who hasn't it touched? I'm so worried.
So my fingerprints.
You just seem a little different from the person who turned up all those weeks ago. You don't talk to me as much as you did. You flitter between patients in a daydream. Tell me what things are bothering you. Who measures sanity or insanity? One man's philosopher is another man's fool. I'm keeping an eye on you. I won't let you go crazy. I think I'm okay with the grief now. My mother died suddenly, and I think I was projecting Dr. Dekker's death to be about her. I know they're not related. My mother died suddenly, like Dr. Dekker. For her, though, it was different. She burst into flames. I was 7. They said she must have been smoking and drinking on the sofa, but she doesn't smoke or drink. Professor Alderby said it was spontaneous combustion. Dr. Dekker's prescription pad is still missing. I'll let you know if it turns up. I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in their coffee.
Oh.
I hope that's how you like it. Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients.
Yeah, that's why he was going
I think he
insane.
wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
I do.
Any patient who presented with psychokinetic issues, they were his special patients. Towards the end, he began ignoring all the other cases. Most of the patients saw it as a curse, what they were experiencing, what they were unwittingly doing. Dr. Dekker saw it as an ability, a power to be harnessed and used for, well, God knows what he was going to use it all for. So we made them give in to it, and it consumed them, consumed all of them. Whether you believe any of that or not is your choice, but they did,
I definitely
which made
do
them
believe
angry.
it.
And that's why I think he was murdered by a patient. It's not your job to find out who the murderer is. It's the police. You can only point them in the right direction. Murder is a means to an end. There's a lot more going on here you should be thinking about. A fictional space god that's resting at the bottom of the Atlantic. It's not likely, is it? Or maybe you think it is. Have you spoke to Mariana today? Your patients will always be a bother, but you're caring for people. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? In a few weeks' time, there'll be a whole new bunch of faces with a whole new bunch of quirks. Let's not have a whole new doctor, shall we?
I'm good. I feel better. Last session, that was all negative. I don't want to be like that. I made you something. A little thank you for being so nice. They're cookies. I'm a happy person. And really, what's the point of being miserable? It doesn't matter what's going on at work or anything. Happy is the only goal. Max told me that.
I think some footballer might have said it. I told you about Max, right? Didn't I mention him before? Yes, but you don't know the whole story. Max is 77. He was one of my patients. I thought he was dying, so I shifted for him. Became an old sweetheart of his, apparently. Only Max didn't die. He actually got better somehow. And then he came and asked me to do it again. Eleanor, her name was, or is. Like I say, he doesn't even know where she is now. But she obviously still loves him. When I shifted, I felt all fluttery and excited. It's so sweet, isn't it? Yes, Max and Eleanor had dinner on Valentine's Day. I felt a bit weird when he asked me. But he said he just wanted to have one more date with her and then he wouldn't ask me again. And to be fair, he was a perfect gentleman. I mean, I didn't want to have that conversation. What about the prescription pad? Yes, I took it.
Why did you take the
I
pad?
had to. Dr. Dekker told me he could use it to take away my gift. Someone was sending Dr. Dekker death threats. Had no idea. He never said anything to me about it. I suppose he was just trying to cure me. I mean, I thought he believed that I could shift, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just humouring me the whole time. I could never hurt anyone. You have to believe me, Doctor. The usual stuff. Flour, sugar, butter, chocolate chips, and my special ingredient. A little herbalist magic to give you some
I'm not
pep.
eating it.
You look like you need it. You can put herbal remedies in food. The effect's more subtle, but it does work. You're very welcome. Thing is, because Max didn't die, he saw me change back after I let go of his hand. There wasn't anything I could do about it. I don't know why Max didn't die. It usually works.
What? What works?
I just mean when I shift. They see their loved one and say what they have to say, and then there's nothing stopping them from moving on. Why? What did you think I meant?
Why are you getting suspicious? Okay, Ellen. You're another huge suspect because why did she take the pad? Why did you fucking steal the pad? What's wrong with you?
I'm fine. I killed David. Again. Like you told me to. Anushka's fine, I would imagine. Her father came over to talk about the missing cat. It would have been an easier conversation had I not been splattered in blood and sweating like a milkmaid. It seemed like he wanted to give me a piece of his mind, but when he saw the state I was in, he fled. There were no police that turned up. I suspect I've got away with it, at least this second time. Now all that's left is for you to write up my diagnosis. That I'm not sound of mind. That I wasn't sound of mind when I killed David. It's up to you whether you want to mention any of our other conversations. I'm happy either way. with an axe. I got him to put his head on the wood block. He didn't really know what he was doing. He trusted me. I cut off his head. When I picked it up, it was smiling. Probably a muscle spasm. Oh, the continuing saga of Dr. Dekker. After he'd seen David and done his due diligence, he came up with an offer I couldn't refuse. Remember? The one I told you about when we first met. Dr. Dekker wanted me to reanimate him. He said he would kill David unless I agreed. He called me on Valentine's night. He promised to use a disposable phone so there would be no trace. I was supposed to come here, where I would find him dead, and then reanimate him. I agreed immediately. It seems that Dr. Dekker went through with his half of the agreement. But I forgot to turn up. I never saw Dr. Dekker's prescription pad. I imagine he kept it hidden away. To stop people stealing it? I've already told you, I never saw his prescription pad, so of course I didn't write any death threats. It sounds like someone is trying to frame me. Who's trying to frame me, Doctor? I don't really know the girl, but I did buy out her loan from Dr. Dekker. I mainly did it to shut him up about it. But can you imagine having him as a creditor? That poor girl. I hope it didn't accrue anything more than interest. Yes, Dr. Dekker threatened to kill David. That terrified me at the time. I still had hope that David would recover. Doctor, did I tell you about that time that I used the power of my mind to bring my husband back to life? I can't imagine what I'd do to the psychiatrist that double-crossed me. But I'm sure it would be fun. For me, at least.
I'm not feeling very well. I tried to sleep through the midnight hour, and I slept for 8 hours. When I woke up, it was looking at me.
Oh.
That thing was looking at me. Time was still frozen. But I can't escape it. I'm doomed. It knows what I did with Dr. Dekker. It's been taunting me. It wanted me to follow it, so I did. It brought me here, Doctor. Here. It thinks I killed Dr. Dekker. I'm sure of it. I took his body. It was me. I took it from the coffin because I didn't want him put in the ground. I don't know what I was going to do with him. I just didn't think burial would be enough. Maybe I would cremate him. But the body disappeared. I know you want to be buried, but it's never the end, is it? I have a private tool shed at the graveyard. I moved his body in there before the burial, but when I came back, he'd gone. It was locked, and he'd gone. How did that happen, Doctor? How did Dekker do that? If someone else moved Dekker, they'd had to have picked the lock, moved the body, and then locked up again. Why go to the trouble of locking up again? Perhaps. It had crossed my mind that Dr. Dekker perhaps resurrected himself. Maybe he wasn't dead, just sleeping. It's not out of the question to think that Dr. Dekker teleported himself out of the tool shed. If I can do it, he probably can. That's the kind of thing I've been thinking. But the thing that's been following me, it can teleport too. I think the thing might be Dekker. Is the thing Dekker? And so it is. You worried me then, Doctor. I thought you were starting to believe in the unbelievable too. I teleported back into the art gallery after our session, in the midnight hour. I replaced the painting, so I haven't stolen anything for a long time now.
It sounds like you're jittery and
Perhaps a
lying about it.
cheeky borrow best describes it.
Chat, I want a Pepsi.
I didn't steal Dekker's pad. I didn't have to. If I wanted to use it, I could just teleport in here and steal a sheet. Why take the whole pad? Why be that obvious?
That is true.
Well, kudos to whoever had the guts to do that. Wasn't me. What did they say? You've piqued my interest now. I've tried to avoid my extra hour. I tried to sleep through it. I did try one thing. I spied on you, Doctor. You have a strangeness, don't you? You live in the same house as Dr. Dekker. I spied on him several times, so I know the house very well. You kept it almost entirely the same. Why did you live in the same house as Dr. Dekker? Is it a perk? Or you, Dr. Dekker? Thought it might be a perk. I'm sorry I spied on you. I was just getting worried that you weren't who you said you were. Just some mannerisms, strangeness. It's good you've adopted his dog, though. I'm not sure many people would have done.
Damn.
I waved back at Jessica yesterday, and she smiled. It was bigger than normal. I think we may have made a connection, Doctor. The photos I have of her, I think I'm going to destroy them. They're my problem, not hers. I tried to sleep through my extra hour. I didn't want to face it. That thing has been taunting me. I wish I was still religious. The thing that's following me, it doesn't have a face. I saw it close up when it was standing over me. It has no face, no eyes, no mouth, no nothing. Inside its hood is just space. Just a black hole.
Oh my god. Okay, chat. I gotta use the bathroom.
His prescription pad's missing. The one with all the death threats on it. Do you think the murderer took it to cover their tracks? His prescription pad's missing. The one with all the death threats on it. Do you think the murderer took it to cover their tracks? This might feel like the darkest timeline, but it's not my darkest timeline. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I'd look at one of your other patients, or maybe even your assistant.
Alright, I'm back, chat. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, chat. I just feel like only the murderer would know that person was getting death threats, because nobody else mentioned anything about death threats. because I feel like I'm going to do the process of which everybody knew he drunk and knew of pills or had access to pills. So that was Jaya, Bryce, and Ellen. So that was Jaya, Bryce, and Ellen. Ellen also stole his notepads. His notepads that was apparently having death threats on them. Why would she steal his notepad? Oh, because she said that. What did she say? I need to check that out. Why would she steal the notepad?
Dr. Dekker told me he could use it to take away my gift.
That don't sound right to me, chat.
Dr. Dekker told me he could use it to take away my gift.
How? But she has no real motive to kill Dr. Dekker. She does because she was mad about the way how he handled the death with his mom. Hmm. Chat, I really don't know who it could be. So we just go and pick one. I think it was Ellen.
No, you've got it all wrong. I'm not a murderer. I'm a good person. I help people. Why would I want to kill Dr. Dekker? Without him, I'd never have started shifting. Anyway, I had the prescription pad just in case, so there was no reason for me to kill him.
He was
I'm
going to
really
take it 5 hours
shocked he
away.
thought it was me.
Dr. Dekker deserved to die.
Oh.
I'm not saying I did such a thing. Not something that I would confess to now whilst being recorded. But I'm happy to reaffirm that his death was necessary. Well, more than death, really. If I only knew where his body had gone. Now I can't be sure. I can't be sure that he's absolutely dead. The girl, chained in his basement. She'd most definitely have killed him given half the chance. I suppose if I'd teleported into his office one night to write myself a prescription and had run into Dr. Dekker himself, that I might have killed him then and there with the nearest available weapon. And in doing so, would be accoladed as the hero, not the villain that you're making me out to be. But we shall see, Doctor. We shall see. Good luck catching a man who can teleport when he wants to, though. Or maybe you don't think that I can.
Oh, it was Bryce.
She told me that she's killing people, and now I'm stuck in the same day. Can you imagine? Every day she greets me like we're so in love. I know what she's done. I know what she's going to say to me later in the evening. It's over. I can't be with her. But part of me likes it repeating. It's normal.
I'm not really sure what you'd call it. Mutually assured delusions? I think Dr. Dekker was projecting his weird fantasies on me, and it was just going to be easier to go along with it, to participate. I feel much better now I know I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. Did I?
Terry's been promoted to night sister. She hadn't been in, and I thought she was off sick, but apparently she was on a course. So she's my new boss now. I've already started looking for other jobs. It's no secret Terry hates me. But, you know, got to be positive about it. I could have a completely fresh start. There's a job on the children's ward I'm going to go for.
There's no need to go over old ground. I understand. David died when I stabbed him, and everything else since, everything else that's happened, that was all me. David, Anushka's father, Iris. What's next for me, Doctor? How do we cure what I have? By all accounts, and thanks to a very unfriendly jury, it seems like we're going to have quite a lot of time to figure that out.
What I want to know is how did you know which patient was the murderer? I mean, they all lied to you, didn't they? I'm just glad it's business as usual around here and I'm not having to look for another doctor again. It's embarrassing. Dr. Dekker almost caught me writing the advert for his replacement.
The curse continues at Dr. Dekker's psychiatry practice, where another physician has been murdered by a patient. Found by night cleaning staff, Dr. Dekker's replacement was pinned to the chair with a paper spike, in what police are describing as a copycat murder. Jaya. You're supposed to be looking after them. How many more do we have to go through before you get a good one?
Damn, so somebody killed me too. Well, you guys, that is the end of that. We caught the murderer. It was indeed Bryce. Like I said, he was one of my main suspects. He was in my top three because, like I said, he knew Dr. Dekker was drinking, and he also knew that Dr. Dekker had sleeping pills and antidepressants and all of that. Along with Jaya and Ellen, because Ellen, she has access to all of that. She's a nurse, and she knew he was drinking. So the murderer was only somebody who knew all too. But anyways, chat, that is going to be it for me. This is it for this series, and we're all done with it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.